brother Vint and Mick Queely. He was over the Offaly team when they won the National League, Party Corn. So you knew you had a nucleus of a great team there. You know, for us to win when I heard County Minor, if you beat Westmeath, you were thereabouts. But when it came up to Kilkenny and things like that, you were just blew away. You know, simple as that. But these boys, this whole attitude changed. Like, you know, I remember going to Rathdowney and see them playing in Rathdowney, the colleges, and boy, when you see the likes of, I suppose Brian Whelan was there, and sure TJ wasn't getting a look at it. Oh. My hope would be that we get the underage structure in the club right. Yeah. Because if you haven't the underage structure in your club right, you're going over. And we need to work at that big time. But like the presentation, the debt that the Birr GAA club owed to the Presentation Brothers could never be paid. Never be repaid. Never, because every decade that you talk about, like I could go back as far as the 50s, 40s. Brother Niles came on, Brother Neary.
Brother Mel.
Both those brothers hurled senior football back that time.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had Brother Mel coming on. Yeah. And then you had Brother Conrad that was there as well. Yeah. And they purchased, when they got the college, they purchased the field. And that was a great asset. The brothers' field was a great asset. And that's where everything started there. But you see, there was different brothers. You could go back as Brother Wilford, and then you had Brother Niles come on, and then you had Brother Dennis came in the early 60s. You know, and he done tremendous work there. We won a minor in 64, and we won under 21 in 66. Right, okay. Which was great, you know. So that brought us on then to coming up near 68 and 71, and that was the nucleus of that. And but brother Vincent, when he brought on the boys, when all the boys came at one time, well, I suppose the first one would be, that I can recall, would be Sean Robbins, late Sean Robbins.
After who the county cup
that's right, yeah. And Father Vaughan.
Yeah. Mick Fernie.
Mick Fernie.
Brother Dennis.
You were mentioning there about Father Vaughan.
Yeah, but he was strictly rule book, and that was I tell you.
We often had a set to a committee meeting, and we would agree to differ on the ban.
Oh yeah,
it was a major one. But he used to say to my father was on the committee at the same time, and he said to my father, "Your lad never moves." He says, "He has his evidence in his top pocket." No. But I met him at a funeral after. I was on a funeral where he was parish priest in Cusheen, where he's buried, down in Clare. And we were coming down the course, he was talking to the father walking out the cemetery, and he came down along and he tapped me on the shoulder and he said to me, "And how are you keeping her?" "Great, Father, and yourself?" "Well, it's like this now," he says. "I'm mellowed with age," he says. And says, "Hey, not before your time, Father."
Yeah. Hubie Hogan, our Western was chairman of Laura. And Jim Ryan and Money God was the president of GAA, like. And Jack Hassan out there in Carrick, they all go mad, they wanted to hurl in Tipperary, didn't want to hurl in Offaly. So they got on to Hubie Hogan. So Hubie came to Father Vaughan. Father Vaughan was chairman of Offaly going to board there. Father says, "Have any objection?" He says, "to Carrick going to hurl in Tipperary?" "Oh, no, not at all." He says, "Hubie sure they want to go, they want to go." "Oh God, that's great," he says. "I'll go back and tell them so." Yeah, he was just walking away. "Oh, by the way, Hubie, remember," he says, "if Carrick goes back into Offaly," he says, "Moneygall comes back in. Carrick goes back into Tipperary, Moneygall comes back into Offaly." That finished it. Because Jim Ryan was president, yeah, and that was it.
And that was the one outstanding thing you mentioned, Hubie Hogan. Hubie, they used to have great tournaments here, Suitlands, and he always refereed for Birr, always refereed the tournament.
Good referee was so.
Yeah, he was.
St Brendan's Presentation Brothers Primary School in Moore Park Street has long been regarded as the nursery of hurling in Birr, and from 1971 to the late 1980s, Brother Vincent was at its helm as principal. Here he recounts his experience of coaching the future stars of Birr hurling.
Well, the two great things that happened to our club, from 71 on, we won the championship and this man came to town. And he just wrote history from the day he came, and the rest is history, as the fella says. You know,
funny thing about it, I thought Birr were beaten in the game. I actually went out and went home. The first thing I did actually was, Brother Ackerman was there at the time, and so I didn't get involved with the actual teams in the school at the time. But what I did, there was a patch of ground behind the goals, you remember?
yes, right, up at the far end.
And it was wild with grass. That was the first job I made a little croke park there.
Right, okay.
And we made that there, and I took the lads from second and third class, and we had little leagues, you see. You see, they're the lads that would be lost normally in any club, because nobody wants to take the young fellas, the real young fellas.
Yeah.
And that's where all the skill starts. And the real love of hurling, I think, starts down there.
So
They appreciate it more than anyone else. The younger they are, the more they appreciate
More
it.
appreciate, yeah.
And the other thing I'd say is that one of the things I'd like to make known is that the joy that you get from looking after young fellas in hurling is better than winning an All-Ireland for yourself, I'd say. I really believe that. I loved it so much. To see them improving was just out of this world to me. I suppose I couldn't give enough credit to Tony Sampson and Liam Broderick. And I'm sorry to hear that they're no longer with the club. I'm terribly disappointed with that. Because to me now, Tony was just on for the hurling now. As soon as Tony came into the school, I made a policy that I gave him one of the teams for himself. I said, you look after the under 12s now, and I'll take the under 14s. And Tony looked after. No, I was with him, and he was with me for the under. We worked as a team, and I suppose it really helped, especially in getting the skills. You know, this
Honed.
yeah.
Yeah.
This most difficult of all skills was you know, where we put the three in across the field, and the fellow in the middle had to pull left and right on the ball as it came. Now, he didn't stop it to hit it or anything, but he ran towards it and doubled on it as he was running in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And then the fellows at both ends had to run forward to that ball to meet it, not to wait for it to come to them, but to run 4 or 5 yards out to meet the ball. Because I think this is the greatest mistake that's being made all over the place. The man waiting
For the ball to come.
and you see the fella come behind and
Take it out.
and take it. How many times do you see that happening, even in senior hurling? When you can use the ground hurling, you can that will tell in the end. That's what won the game so awfully, you know.
Yes,
so that-
minor
these
flicks.
one-handed flicks. A fella going after there, I think he has the ball, and next thing it's gone.
Yeah.
Johnny Pilkington had built the ball up the field.
Yeah,
You know, he was fantastic at that, to come around from behind the fella, you know.
that's right.
and sneak
Flick.
the ball up the field. We beat Ryan's teams that were far better hurlers than ours, because we were better at the ground hurling. We start off with ground hurling in the first half, we'll say, And the last 10 minutes of each half, I think, we used to allow them to pick it,
That's right.
but not to take it into their hands. Drill, you do everything, drill, until it comes automatic. And you stay at it until it becomes automatic. No, they wouldn't have been, well, of course, I was probably a bit of a dictator anyway. And
The boss, that was it.
I didn't get the name Hitler for nothing.
How'd you hear that?
How did I hear that? And I was just gone.
Just gone.
I was just gone.
As a matter of fact,
you believe?
Ken Hogan and myself went down to the monastery. Yeah, do you remember that? I guess you come as a selector.
Did you? My
Yeah.
God, I'd forgotten. I had that forgotten. But I was actually supposed to be training the Birr senior team the year before that.
That's right. That's right.
I was training them,
Yeah.
but it was nearly all the young fellas we had. I had, I think I can only remember 3 or 4 of them. I mean, it made my life when I left Birr.
You know,
You know,
that's one of my lads.
I missed it all. I wasn't here for any of the homecomings, the great homecomings. But my God, it made my life. I got such satisfaction out of them. If they only knew what they did for me.
What you did for them.
Well,
You wrote history.
they can say that. Not alone did they make life for me,